Welcome to the Issue Crew. It's the show where we all have issues both with our lives and with each other. I am your host, Riley, here with a wacky cast of characters. As usual, Captain Blackbread.
Yeah, I like that you said as usual, despite the fact that I was only here in spirit yesterday through Pink.
Well, I'm always joined by a wacky cast of characters. It's different every time. That's like the whole point.
Oh, that was a
Kang.
statement. That was the end of the statement.
Yes.
Okay.
Kang is here.
Hey.
Welcome to the program. Captain Blackbread questioned the syntax of how I phrased my intro, and it's thrown my whole game off. Also joining us, special guest, returning to the program, Arcane. Welcome back.
What's up?
Arcane has joined us for the first time since he was unjustly banned from the Demigloom Discord server.
Absolutely. I am the most oppressed class.
Even though I said on air that I didn't care. I'm still back.
How did you get kicked off the
I was
server?
mostly
What
joking.
the
bit was.
I mean, we can talk about it if you want, but
So
I
you
am
got
curious.
banned. The bit I was doing, Arcade, when I said I didn't care, is you did get banned alongside Brad the Bad 101, who, I don't know if you know this, has been one of my best friends since I think 2017, maybe even 2016. So I was like, I don't really care about Arcane, but I have a real issue with Brad getting banned.
that's crazy.
But yeah, you said too many no political things that got banned from Demigloom.
I really didn't, bro.
One is too many, Arcane. Okay.
I thought crime too hard, bro.
You thought crime too hard.
I don't even think it was Demi who did it, honestly. I don't think
No,
she.
it was. It wasn't. It was Demi who did it.
That's.
It might have not. It actually. I'm not sure if Demi clicked the button, but Demi definitely agrees with the button being clicked because we've talked about it since then. But
yeah.
You really pushed the envelope with that one. Huh?
I really did. It was the most milquetoast, like common sense shit. Like,
I mean, I think Demigloom's point is fair, where it's like whatever she wants the server she wants the server to serve a certain purpose.
Mhm.
You were not conducive to that purpose. Whatever. But
I wasn't part of the utopic vision.
But like, if I feel like my only rebuttal is I feel like if you run a podcast where like the point is politics, banning somebody for having different politics kind of feels wrong. Well, I'm of two minds actually, because like I guess the one argument you could make is since middle school GSA is very obviously in all ways a left-wing podcast. I guess you could say it's a left-wing space. You're sort of an invader in that space, but I feel like if you're throwing yourself into the ring of politics, you should be willing to entertain the other side.
Yeah, that's why I'm not as hurt about being banned, because like obviously I stand by what I said, and I'm not gonna sit here and moan about Demi removing me from her server, because at the end of the day that's Demi's right. Like I don't agree with it, but
Demi removed me from the server. No, never mind. I was thinking of getting off on it, but
Demi violated my First Amendment rights.
No, it's more like violate my personal rights. Take away my First Amendment rights.
Oh my god, press me harder.
Press me, daddy.
Give me that there. Fuck, god damn it.
That was actually better than whatever you were about to say.
And now right now, and not in the future, right now, am gonna tell you who won last week. All right, folks, here I am in the now, in the current time, right now, not in any sort of future that is over a week from when we recorded this podcast. That's not the case. Any allegations of such are greatly exaggerated. Now, let me tell you who won on last week's podcast. If you'll recall, the issues were blisters, competitive Call of Duty, hacking in video games, libs of TikTok, over-reliance on Windows, and saving over your save. And the winner, with the one and only vote on the episode, is libs of TikTok. Fuck you, libs of TikTok, you cunt bitch. Back to me right now, because this is not in the future. There you go. I now have told you who won last week.
I can't believe I fucking
all had this
won.
talk.
That's crazy.
I fucking won.
You who wasn't here won. Yeah,
Hell yeah. I did it.
you did it.
You won in
Congratulations.
spirit.
Congratulations.
And now that that's out of the way, we gotta talk about issues this week.
What? You didn't want to hear about my weekend?
Oh yeah, what happened? What happened to you, Captain Blackbread?
Oh, okay, well, allow me to remind you again. Okay, so actually, Kang, you get to hear this story for the first time, so...
Well, I more asked that as a leading question for our listeners. I know that you told me, but
Yeah, I know. Now they know too, but now I'm saying it just for the hell of it. So, something that I never thought would happen. So, my little brother, he's a single Pringle. I brought him to the bar along with my younger cousin because he and my cousin are like, you know when you like fold your fingers like you're crossing them? They're like that. Anyway, I brought them both to the bar, and for the hell of it, I was just like, well, I think you just need to learn how to talk to women. And so I was like, watch and learn. I'll show you how it's done. And there was this girl there that was dressed up like a clown. And like I saw that he was looking at her, and I'm like, check it out. I bet you I can fucking get that clown girl. And then I did catch the clown girl's attention, but like a little too hard because by the end of the night she wanted to suck my dick. And I'm married. So, I mean, that'd be an opportunity that, you know, a once in a lifetime thing, but you know, it's just an interesting thing that I got to almost get my dick sucked by a clown girl and Riley did not.
This makes me want to do to Captain Blackbread the plot of the Nicolas Cage movie Face Off.
Getting good. Holy shit. It's just my face on a really fat body. Yeah, that's the secret. It's my fucking fucked up face.
Yeah,
You definitely want that.
Of course.
Oh god.
That is
it would be all
fucking
stretched out too.
How did that movie even work? How is that plan supposed to work?
I don't
You
know.
take their face, you put it on his face, then it's gonna be all like stretched out and weird.
That was that movie with who was it? Fucking
John Travolta.
Yep. Cage and Travolta.
I only know what happens in that movie because there's a Robot Chicken sketch where it's Drake and Josh do the movie Face Off.
But
I'm
I think
looking
what you
this
mean
up
to
right
say
now.
is that
I have seen that movie, but I have not watched it. But I am aware of its existence.
I've heard of it and I've seen the Drake and Josh Robot Chicken sketch about it, and that's what I know about Face Off.
so like what would John Travolta's face look like on Nicolas Cage's body anyway? I feel like it just wouldn't work out the way they tried to
No,
make it.
yeah,
in the
I don't
movie.
think so.
They just look all fucked up, like with the stitches and shit. And with, you know, the face proportions not matching up quite, so you'd have like some fucked up spots. The eyes are just like all stretched out.
Yeah, that'd be pretty fucked up.
Yeah, the weird part of that movie is where they just got each other's bodies too in the process, so they just looked identical to each other.
Yeah, that is a little bit the more you think of it.
Yeah, but I get it. Riley wants to rip my face off for you know, talking
For
to a clown
for
girl.
clown blowjobs.
Yeah.
Ah, the clown jobs.
Oh yeah, let me send you the Instagrams. Get your reaction live on air.
Yes, this is my live reaction to see how bad of a clown bitch Captain Blackbread let slip for his silly marriage.
Put in the recording chat. I gotta see this shit.
You see, I feel like being married would be cool, but if I got into a situation where I was married and a clown wanted to give me a blowjob, I'd be like, man, this is one of the bad things about getting married.
Yeah, man. The allure of the dynamics of the clown nose hitting your pelvis and like bouncing back, like getting
It's
instant
true.
momentum. Yep. It's full autopilot, man. Like gravity do the work.
Dude, she just takes that clown nose off. She makes you finish and give her a runny nose.
Oh my god. That's gross.
Hey, should tell her to get something for that runny nose, man.
Oh god. Kang.
I'm having trouble pulling up the profile, and also I thought I copied the URL, but it's not giving me the option to paste the URL.
Did she give you a fake Instagram?
No, that's very much a real Instagram. It's a Discord problem. Where the word paste should pop up, instead pops up autofill.
Just do
she
Control
just puts
V.
on the fucking
V,
the
bro.
nose piece again, and then you just hear just like a.
No, like I'm gonna make this work.
Just use Control V.
Here, this is the best I can do. Did it work?
I don't know. Where did you send it?
Oops, it says Captain
Side chat.
Blackbread is typing.
What the fuck? What is happening?
Nope, just looks like you're typing in the side chat.
Yeah, okay, there we go.
Here we go.
Let me get rid of one of
Can
those.
Arcane access the text chat and the voice chat?
Yeah.
Okay.
Fuck.
Okay, not the hottest con girl, but like Wood.
Yeah, I was
So-
expecting like full clown. Like, I was expecting like the
Kang just
red,
fucking
the red
jizzed.
afro.
Wood.
the
Wood.
Hey yo.
And he's exclaiming his erection. That's what it means when you say wood. That's what it means when you say wood. That's an exclamation of your erection.
Yeah, it's WOOD,
Wood.
not
Yeah,
WOULD.
exactly.
Face looks like her face looks like a Fortnite skin, bro.
What?
Her face is like a Fortnite skin.
That sounds like something that somebody would say that plays Fortnite.
I don't know what you're talking about, bro.
Guys, listen. I got an issue.
You're just
for
fucking
you.
talking her down because, okay, how many clown girls have you talked to?
I've never talked to a clown in my life.
Okay, well, there you go. That's 1 Blackbread, 0 Arcane. All right.
So true.
Jesus.
All right, chumps. I got an issue for you.
Chumps.
Chumps.
That's also
That's
one
right,
black
that's
bread,
right.
zero.
Is the
Riley.
clown thing just a hobby? Is that what's going on here?
Okay, for Riley, it's a bigger deal than it is for me. For me, it's just like, oh, that's neat. Riley is into that.
I am a self-proclaimed Clussy enjoyer, so it is
A Clussy enthusiast.
I am a Clussy enjoyer. But...
Oh my god, bro is silly sexual.
I'm putting that in my Twitter bio. That's pretty good.
Anyway, yeah, now let me... Okay, I do realize that that's totally an unfinished story. It's not necessarily about the I almost got blue by a clown, right? It's more like that was a byproduct of like trying to show my younger brother and younger cousin how to talk to women. Because it wasn't just them that talked to me, it was her friends, and then a gay guy that was also hanging out with them was also being gay.
Pretty gay.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know what? You take the compliment where you can get it. The gay guy thought I was hot. That's cool. All right, I'll take it.
But
I won't
Riley,
take
what's your
it.
issue?
Nothing wrong with some ego points.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was saying. That's really good for the ego.
Guys, my issue's stepping on things, okay? It really sucks. Stepping on things is one of the worst things that can happen to you, okay? Listen, let's picture this, okay?
Like stepping on a
Step-
nail?
That's a thing you could step on that's really bad. That's pretty high on the stepping on things scale.
You'd need a tetanus shot after that.
But whenever you step on a thing, here's the thing about stepping on things. Regardless of the severity of the thing you stepped on and the lasting effects it will make on you, whenever you step on something that causes you any amount of pain, it's like maybe one of the most disorienting pains you could feel to me when you're not expecting it. Cause like walking is like so central. You're walking around, you're moving. You call that walking around. Walking is so sensitive, so central to your movement that when you're walking and then suddenly you've received a unwarranted attack on the bottom of your foot that you weren't expecting, it fucking is like, whoa, what the fuck? Like, what is that? And you have to like assess what has happened. And then it gets really bad if it's something sharp, like Captain Blackbird said, a nail, glass, which I stepped on some glass like 20 minutes ago, and that's why I'm
Or a
bringing you
fish hook in
tissue.
your heel.
Fish hook would be real bad. I'm assuming that happened to you.
Yeah, that happened to me as a kid. I was running along a dock going to jump off, and I fucking stepped on a fish hook and it went into my heel.
Oh, man,
I
that's
had to pull that
rough.
back out. It was rough.
Good
Needed pliers.
lord.
You didn't catch a fish, but you caught a heel.
Yeah, so I have to explain this to people sometimes because I guess it's not a Florida thing because they have it in other places, but it's a only some places thing. Does everybody here have sand spurs or know what they are?
Oh God, yes. Oh, dude, those things are so.
Yeah, you're a
those the
fellow
things-
Floridian,
Are
so
those
I
the
know
things that
you
stick to your
know.
socks and poke you?
Yes.
Oh,
You like
yeah, they
lightly
have those
graze
in
them
Southern
and they just
Oregon.
like
And then you accidentally step on one when you're barefoot in the yard, dude. Those
Yeah,
spiky
that's what
little
they are.
landmines.
It's like in other places you could be barefoot in your yard, and that's just like cool, and you could do that. You can't do that here. Like whenever it's like, okay, I have to go outside and do X, but I don't want to put shoes on. I am then gambling with my life because if I'm stepping in that yard, there's a very good chance I'm gonna get stabbed by a sand spur because they're just there on the ground, and if you step on one, it sticks into your foot, and sometimes it can get real deep in there, and that really sucks to pull out when it gets deep in there.
Dude, it's like you're
bad.
pulling barbed wire out.
Oh my God.
It's rough. It
good
sucks.
lord.
I've only
That's
ever had
another-
burrs stick to my fucking socks and shoes, and like that's it.
Yeah, no. You step into that yard barefoot, they stick right in your foot. It's not good.
Well, don't do that. Just don't walk
Yeah, you
around
see.
barefoot.
Yeah, but sometimes you don't want to go find a pair of shoes. You just got to go out there for a second and you just risk it. And sometimes it goes okay. Sometimes you're dealing with some sand spurs, and that's just
I'm
the
gonna-
game you have to play.
I'm
I
gonna
used to have a
argue.
friend in high school, or actually middle school. I used to go over his house, like play PlayStation and shit. And my mom was like super cleanly, like at home. She was like big into cleaning and making sure everything was sanitary. But when I would go over there, the carpet in their basement where the PlayStation was, like every time I came home, my feet would just be black, like completely caked on with all kinds of disgusting mess. And it was to the point where like I kind of almost developed a phobia of having like gross shit on my feet. Now I just walk around everywhere with slippers no matter where I am.
I'd argue
You
it's
know.
worse. I'd argue it's worse to be stepping on, like, say it's in the dark. You're walking through your house. The last thing you fucking expect is to step on something slimy, and then you do, and it's cat vomit.
Oh.
Yep.
Now that's the fucking worst.
That's terrible. It's like,
Yeah,
and
that
it's
sounds
freezing
pretty
cold
bad.
too.
Oh.
No,
Yeah.
you wind up
Worst part.
no. You go outside, you wind up accidentally killing a snail by stepping on it.
See, I was
I've
raised
done
in
that.
concrete, so I nature nature was very rare for me. So like, I was more worried about glass and shards of debris walking barefoot than any kind of biological life.
Ah, yes, the forbidden Doritos.
Hmm. Yeah, glass is the worst. I've already brought in glass. I don't think that was the old show either. I think that was this show, but maybe I'm wrong. But I've already brought in glass. But to recap that, yeah, glass really sucks because it's clear and you can't see it, and you try to clean it up, but sometimes you miss a couple little crystals because they're clear
Yeah.
and you can't fucking see them, and then you're walking around on your floor and fucking bam, glass in your
Yeah.
foot, and it's like fuck.
You guys got crabgrass down there?
I don't think so. 'Cause
Crabgrass.
I don't know what that is.
Oh fuck, it's the worst. Okay, we have it in Washington. Basically, you go out into your yard, and if you step on something, you better hope it's a fucking dandelion. Because if it's not a dandelion, it's this horrible, spiky fucking like dandelion lookalike that grows out of the ground with no actual flower, and it just fucking stabs the shit out of you when you touch it.
Ugh.
It's like it's really fucking pokey. I don't know how else to put it, but it's the worst sensation as a kid. You're running around barefoot.
Yes.
That sounds like a sand spur, but I know it's probably not.
No, it grows from the ground. Just look it up real quick. I think I hope this is what I'm talking about.
That's yet another thing. It's one of those. It's a bad sensation to step on things, especially when they stab into you in any such a way.
Yep.
Oh wait, no, it's not crabgrass. Okay, pokey.
My dad told me a story of one time he has a phobia of like anything touching his feet at all because he told me a story when he was a kid. He was playing hide and seek with his friends and he was hiding behind a door and his friend did not know he was behind the door, so he slammed the door open and the
Oh,
bottom of the door caught my dad's toe and lifted that bitch straight off.
oh,
Right off.
Ugh.
toe capitation.
Yeah, it was fucking fatality of
That's
the
not
toe.
okay, man. Oh my god.
Toe shot.
What happened? Did I just fucking leave the call for a second?
No,
Yes,
you're
so.
still there.
Oh,
What was
yeah.
that?
What was what?
What's the last thing you guys heard me say?
I don't know.
Mhm.
Oh, well, I thought you guys were invested in this fucking me looking up whatever this weed is called.
Oh yeah, something about
Thistle.
yeah.
Thistle. Oh,
Thistles.
that's pretty thistles.
Yep. Yeah, thistles. That's the thing I'm thinking of. Crabgrass, I don't even know what the fuck that is. So it's just something we called it as kids, not knowing what the fuck it actually was.
Anyway, you
Yep.
have anything else you want to add on to that, Riley?
I mean, I think we've covered the gist of it pretty thoroughly. You step on shit, it's a bad sensation. If it stabs in you, you got to pull it out, and that's a second round of worse pain. It's just a bad thing to happen to you. You don't want it to happen. Generally, that's my advice to you. I'll give you that one for free. Don't step on shit that you don't want to be stepping on. And that's the lesson that I'm imparting to you, the listener. I hope that you carry it wisely. Who's next? The fucking Captain Blackbread.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Do the thing.
Okay. So, more of you nerds need to start driving because every time I bring up a driving issue, nobody ever votes for it. I don't know if I brought this up last time, but I'm going to bring it up again. If some of you guys just would learn to drive and enjoy the joys of driving, you can understand the everything that is not a joy in driving, such as rubberneckers. And no, that's not derogatory. That's
I was gonna say it sounds like a slur.
well, it might as well be.
Rubbernecker, please.
Necker, please. Anyway,
Whoa.
Rubbernecka to you, sir.
yeah, you're right. Yeah, I did put the hard R on.
Yeah, we
On
can't be
Necka.
using hard R on this podcast.
Okay. You're right. Okay, issue Rubberneckers. Or would it just be Rubberneckers? Anyway, so you're going down the freeway. Everything slows the fuck down because a cop has somebody pulled over for a routine fucking stop, like giving them a speeding ticket. It's not even a wreck, but everybody's slowing down to look at it. Or they're slowing down to like fucking 45 because they think the cop's gonna pull them over.
Yeah, I hate that.
It's like, oh man, my tabs are
Yeah.
bad. I better slow down so he can see them even better.
Yeah, I can't stand, especially when it's like a really busy highway and like you think there's like a big accident or something that happened like up ahead. And you're like, okay,
And
I'm
then
gonna.
it's just a cop being like, well,
Instantly
now
just
don't go that fast anymore, and then lets him go.
I'm just like, and then like as soon as you pass the cop, the traffic starts picking up, and it's like, what the hell are you guys doing?
Yeah, or even worse, when the cop's on the other side of the freeway and people are slowing down on your side of the freeway. Like,
I think
what are you worried he's gonna fucking jump across the meridian like Inspector Gadget to come and pull you over?
Fucking RoboCop just like fires
It's
a
like,
tracking
stop
missile.
slowing down in the fucking lane. Get the fuck out of the way.
Yeah, basically. I think I did a short recently, or no, it wasn't a short. It was I think I put it on the Discord or something, and people identified with it.
Oh,
So
speaking of, sorry for this tangent, but you got a little play on the Dick Show recently.
I did?
You didn't know about this? Dick was fascinated by your accidental touch protection.
Oh shit, no shit.
Yeah, he spent like 20 minutes being like, "What the fuck is this shit? I've never heard of it." And then him and Johnny talked about how it's like sticky keys and what sticky keys are for like 10 minutes. And then they bring it up again later in the episode. You got a lot
Wait,
of play.
really? Oh, hell yeah.
And
See, I
then
told you
somebody wrote an
accidental touch
email in
protection is a
about
problem.
it the next week. So a lot of play on the accidental touch protection you got on the
Dude,
Dick.
fuck yeah. What episode was this? Send it to me.
I'll
I
have
guess
to
I
look
missed it.
again. It was like the episode before last, I think. So I think 451 just came out, so it would have been 449.
Did they think it was funny? That's the important
Well,
part.
Dick was more like he was fascinated by it because he's never heard of this. So he was just like being like, "What the fuck is this guy talking about?" And then they started talking about sticky keys because that's what it reminded them of.
Yeah, I feel like I actually get played kind of semi-frequently on the Dick Show. Like at least once per 10 episodes, I'll hear my voicemail. And
I left a voicemail about vaccines. I haven't heard whether he played it or not because
I think he did because I heard somebody that sounded like you talking about vaccines.
I talked about a T-shirt cannon type apparatus, but it's
Yes.
vaccine
Yep,
cannon.
they played it.
Oh, cool.
Did they play me in a bonus episode or something? Is that why I didn't hear it?
Oh, it might have been the bonus episode actually.
Oh, fuck. Shit. How much do I have to pay for the bonus episode?
$5.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah.
Oh, it's better than $6. Fucking Vito.
True. It's still 5 on the Dick Show.
You guys gushing about Dick.
I get it because his
Usually.
name's Dick, so it's like a gay thing.
Get it, guys. Pinar.
Pinar.
That
I don't know
man
if I don't know if
touched his own penis.
I don't know if Pinar is common and it's been used in other things, but what I know Pinar from is a video where it's like stock footage of seals, and it's like top saddest stories. Some people say betrayal hurts the worst. I guess they've never lost their Pinar. And it's just like a shitty AI voice, and it's footage of seals, and it's really stupid, and it's really funny.
To go back to Captain's issue, the one time where the rubbernecking was completely justified was like, I want to say like 3 or 4 years ago. I was coming down the highway from work, and
Why do you sound like you're trying to not wake up your parents?
what?
Why do you sound like you're not trying to wake up your parents?
Arcane does have a not trying to wake up his parents' voice. That is
It's
true.
probably
Parents are
because
asleep
it's
in the other room.
honestly it's probably a learned behavior. I could be as loud as I want, but I'm just not loud.
Oh,
It's just how
He's just
it
not a
is.
loud guy.
Yeah.
We're not used to having
Very,
people
very
who
quiet.
aren't like
I mean, I could-
absurdly loud and boisterous on
I
the
could
show.
I could
Yeah.
absolutely turn the sensitivity up on my mic and just absolutely destroy your guys' earlobes.
So
but-
just start
Look, I don't
talking
think that
in
you
start
can't
talking
do
in
it.
like a
That's
not.
just-
Start talking like a '90s radio announcer voice, like
No,
"All
no,
right,
someone will bully you into being a
everybody."
90s radio announcer.
Anyway, long story short, I was coming home from work. There were bodies in like body bags.
You shut the
'Cause
fuck
there
up!
was a-
You're too loud! I'm trying to sleep in the other room!
Just hear those. Hold on.
Oh my god.
That's what you get for letting loose. All right. Anyway, sorry. What were you saying before your father rudely interrupted you?
Basically, like there were fucking like body bags. It was like a terrible fucking accident on the other side of the median, and everybody was slowing down to look at the corpses. That's it.
Wow. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
nuts.
Yeah, that's
But
crazy.
That really fucks up my day, honestly, when I have to see a corpse.
I know, right?
It sucks.
Can't stand seeing.
Especially a house of 1,000 of them.
Yeah, especially every time, you close your eyes, you just see them behind your eyelids taunting you.
Yeah, the
so
corpses get up and start taunting you.
Yeah, they start taunting me and like shouting my name and pointing up into the sky, like, right, guys, you guys get
Especially
it?
when they look like 3 of them are
You-
from hell.
Yeah.
You're next. Spooky, scary skeleton starts playing.
It's almost like you got a bunch of devil's rejects.
You're going to be one of the 3 from hell if you don't stop, Kang.
Nah, I think I'll just go meet the Lords of Salem.
Is that another movie I don't know about?
Yep.
Tutti fucking fruity.
Tutti fucking fruity!
Oh my god. You saying Tutti Frutti just reminded me of a video I have of a clown girl farting.
Hey, Riley.
Riley, you want me
Okay,
to send you
it's
that
this kind
DM?
of episode. No, are you pulling it up? Oh,
Oh, no.
does confetti come out?
No, she literally just like rips ass after like saying something like, "This clown booty is gonna go tutti fruity," and then she like slaps her ass, and then
What
she
the
just
Well, what
starts.
rips
fuck did I
ass.
just come back to?
I'm
We're
glad
talking- We're talking about a video of a clown girl farting. You want me to send it to you?
No,
You sure?
don't ruin the sanctity of clown girls for me.
Yeah, make that pussy tutti fucking fruity!
Crazy.
You gotta leave the silence in after Kang. It makes it so much better.
I would have to go through and manually cut every other
can do it.
silence to do that, so I'm not gonna do it.
I can do it. I would do it.
No, I think we'll be okay. But regardless,
Irregardless.
irregardless,
You gotta get the fake words in there.
That's right. Anything else about rubberneckers?
Hey, dude.
That sounds
you're
like a
good,
slur.
Dude, come on.
They're doing too much
Rubbernecker,
looking and not
please.
enough driving. Slowing everyone down.
You dirty
Like no one's got anywhere to
rubberneckers.
be but to look at dead people on the side of the road. Or a guy getting a speeding ticket.
Is it like illegal to have like oil in your trunk that you could just deploy? Like,
I
if
don't
somebody's
know why
tailgating
that would
you
be
in your
legal. Yeah,
fucking
yeah, like
Ford F-150.
it's probably illegal to have an oil slick button in your car. Yes.
That'd be
No,
sick as
dude.
fuck, though.
No, imagine you're getting tailgated in the fast lane going, 80 miles an hour in a 60, and the guy in the fucking Ford F-150 is like high beaming, ass riding you, honking his horn. You could just hit a button and fucking blue shell his ass.
No,
I
no,
would
hit
just
a
throw a
button. It's a
fucking-
mirror in your trunk and it shines his lights back at him.
I would
But,
throw
like,
a fucking what is it? A fucking a green shell at him.
green shell. Yep.
I was gonna say tire spikes, shoots out some tire spikes, like that spy
Yup.
car from that one Grand Theft Auto mission.
Yep.
Or fucking 2 big ass spotlights. That would be cool. Somebody
Throw a
fucking evaded the
Molotov out my
police doing
window.
that shit. Yeah, there's a video of a guy evading the police by shining lights from their trunk at the police officer so fucking bright that it blinded them and they got
That's
away.
crazy, dude.
It was what? It was a 1 million lumen flashlight. Just one? I thought it was an entire bar.
Oh my
Right?
god, dude.
Is there any crime you could commit
Wow.
where you don't see a cop chase and think the criminal getting away, look at him and be like, "Hell yeah, bro."
Every time the criminal gets away, there's a little part of you that's like, fuck yeah. Yes.
I
Was
mean,
like
that was a clever move by the guy, though. Like, fucking a million lumen flashlight.
Like,
If
I'm
such
sure
a thing is actually real.
I'm sure everybody was watching the OJ chase. Like, yeah, come on, OJ, come on, Juice.
Yeah, come on, man. Just murdered your girlfriend.
Look, maybe
What?
it wasn't him. Okay.
Well, I'm just glad that the real killer's finally been put to rest.
I saw a whole lot of tweets with the picture of Norm Macdonald that said that exact thing or some variation of it.
Yeah.
At least OJ can rest easy knowing the real killer is dead.
Yeah.
And now the bitch who yells at her dogs is going again. Have I not just brought in the bitch who yells at her dogs as an issue? Because I probably should.
You've
'Cause,
mentioned it, so I don't remember if you've done it as an
What?
issue, but you've brought it up.
This fucking bitch who lives across the street, this old lady with like the shrillest voice possible, just
Oh,
is yelling
God.
at her dogs all the time. Which, you know, at some point you would think you realize that it's not working and just give up on the effort. But every fucking day, she starts yelling at her dogs.
Those are her
And for,
fucking meth guarding dogs. Come on.
Yeah, I guess so.
Dude, just yell at her, "Get fucked, Karen."
At first, I couldn't understand any of the words. I've started to pick out some words. She says "get out of there" a lot. She yells at them to go potty sometimes.
If somebody yelled at me
those are
and
the
told me
only
to go
those are
take
the
a shit,
only
I'd be
words.
upset.
Those are the only words I've made out, or "get out of there" and "go potty." There's also lots of other words that are hard to. I still haven't figured out the name of the dog.
Go fetch
Or
me.
dogs.
That's
Like,
crazy.
does she sound like an old lady? Like, get out of there.
She does. She's got that.
Meth.
Imagine the most shrill, annoying old lady voice, and that's what it is.
She sounds like Gruntilda yelling at dogs.
Fucking every day she's yelling at her dog. She's fucking right outside my bedroom window.
Oh my god.
I'll wake up in the
gross.
morning
She's
to her
fucking
being
outside
like,
of your bedroom?
"Rah, rah, rah." It just so
Is that the
happens that
noises she makes getting fucked by her dogs?
Yeah,
Outside your
maybe
window?
that's what's happening. But like,
Oh, that is.
but yeah, she's
Yeah,
the
get out of
backyard.
there. No, we only do that.
She's
not
the
right now.
backyard.
In the dark.
She's the
No, that's the
backyard.
wrong hole.
She's the
Yeah.
backyard fence neighbor, and my bedroom window like faces the backyard fence like perfectly.
I
So
see.
it's
So that's when
right-
she lets
right
the
in
dogs
job.
out. She's like right in earshot of you.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
So I'm sure she's perfectly fine, and I would be mortified if she ever found me calling her a bitch on the internet. Because like in reality, I'm sure she's doing her best. But man, it's real annoying to hear it all the time.
I don't think she's doing her best. Otherwise, the dogs would listen to her.
Yeah, maybe the dogs could fucking learn a thing or two if you actually like to do it, train them right. Instead
Now,
of just
so many
yelling,
people with
"Rah,
fence-
rah,"
yeah.
every
I mean,
day.
yelling at them is better than hitting them, at least. But
Yeah, but to them, it probably just sounds like she's barking with them.
You
yeah,
see, better for them, yes. Better for me, no.
No.
No, I would listen to 1,000 old ladies screaming if it meant one less dog was getting abused. I'm super joking, but
Bro, I just put
Oh
that out
man,
there
you're gonna
just
get
just to
sent
set
like
the record
10,000
straight.
old ladies screaming at you.
And if that saves a couple of dogs, that's okay.
You also
I
have
don't
to
know.
say
I'm
the
not
N word, and it stops a nuke too.
Ah, shit, I can't do that. That's unacceptable.
Yeah, just
I
let
do
the
wonder if
world
there's
just
someone
let the
out there
world
who was
die because
just
I can't say a word.
That's such an obvious. If any human being even had to think about that for a second, then they should be nuked. I think
Yeah, a personal nuke.
a one man nuke.
Yeah,
This creates a blast radius exactly enough to destroy one average adult man.
yeah.
I do wonder how
Like
how
fucking
much
plutonium in a
how
fucking.
much plutonium would you need to kill one individual person? Like
You'd put it
Probably
in a
not much.
firecracker and throw it at them, or like a poppet or something, and
Put it
just
in
give it to small
condoms. I guess.
children to
I guess they're
throw at
making
you.
bombs out of condoms. So I heard they were giving condoms to Africa or whatever.
yeah, that turned
And
out to be
And my
apparently
mother's also
bullshit.
heard they're giving condoms to Africa, and also apparently they're making bombs out of the condoms. Has anybody else heard that part? Because that's new to me.
What?
That's funny, but are they
there's-
fighting with? Are they doing any biological warfare by throwing AIDS blood at each other?
Ooh,
You know
yeah,
what?
that'd be a good strategy.
That is a hell of a strategy.
You want to you basically just want to like get max splash damage out, you know.
But hold on, real quick. We glossed over. Arcane started talking like he knows about the condom bombs, and if he knows about the condom bombs, I want to hear about it.
Doge was fucking going down the list of USA that apparently at some point we were sending like condoms to France to fight like STDs or something, and for
they
some
winning,
reason, I
son?
guess
I thought it was an
I guess
African country. Was it France?
that's what it came out that it was Hamas. That it was Hamas that
Oh.
we're sending the condom. It might have been Africa, like I don't know if it was. I think it was Mozambique. No, Mozambique is where's Mozambique? That's
That's Africa, isn't
That's
it?
Africa. Okay, yeah, that is Africa. Yeah, they said it was going to Mozambique to fight like STDs there, and at some point in the grapevine, they said that it was going to Hamas, and Hamas was using it to make bombs to bomb Israel with condom bombs.
Okay, so
fucking
the condom bombs
wild.
are a thing that people have been
Bombs.
saying. Okay.
It's fucking crazy.
That is
Yeah.
fucking wild.
Next, you'll
Yeah.
tell me they got semen bullets.
I mean, we did
Hamas
talk about
just
how
nuts
Smith
in
and
the
Wesson sells
condoms.
horse cum
Yeah.
last time Arcade was on the show. So
Hamas just
Yeah.
nuts in the condoms and then like throws them and it turns into like an AoE where like anybody who's caught in the AoE just like disintegrates into acid. That's how we're
Oh,
funding our
no.
proxy war against Israel.
Yeah,
I just
very
didn't process
sticky
that, I'm
proxy
sorry.
war.
There's a lot of really crazy shit that just isn't true coming out of that whole USA thing where people are just like, yeah, this much money was going here and this much money was going there, but it turns out that's just like not true. Like
I know
there's a lot of
about
stupid shit, but
I know
some
about
of
the
this shit-
condoms. I know about Iraqi Sesame Street or Saudi Arabian Sesame Street or whatever it is.
Yeah, that one was true.
I know
When the
about.
count taught the kids to make the condom bombs, I wasn't really cool with that.
Yeah, that was a little bit of an overreach. Was there some sort of transgender comic book that was in there?
I don't know, man. It was there was so much information coming out so quickly. I don't think anybody really has a like nobody can verify any of this shit. Like it's so much madness.
Those fucking pauses.
Like people are saying that like they were funding transgender mice, which like if true, crazy, but like I would like for them to compile all of those.
I'd like to know if you could trans a mouse. Like they probably spent too much money on it. I don't know what amount they quoted, but like
Oh yeah,
if
definitely.
science could tell me about how they transed a mouse, that would be interesting.
Yeah. I don't
We're
want to pay for it
making
though.
mouse femboys.
When I see my gross income, be like $200 less than my net, or my net income worse than my gross. Like I don't want to know that it's going to funding transgender mice.
Yeah, it's like I want to know whether you could trans a mouse, but not for
Yes.
that much money.
Yeah, not for that not for that price.
I would donate exactly like $20 to that?
Yeah, the 20, but I would pay $20 to know if you could trans a mouse. I wouldn't pay the 20 billion to know that I could trans a mouse.
$20? You would pay $20 to find out if they could trans a mouse? Like you would just like hard cash? Okay.
If I
Sure,
knew that they were
$20.
going to do it, absolutely, I'll give them $20. If that was the only funding they were getting.
But it's only for funding from people who are willing to give $20 to see if they can trans a mouse.
Honestly, I
yeah,
would
and
love
they're
to
not allowed to
see.
pocket any of it.
I would love to see like the
It all
tax
goes to the
system
mice.
go to like a more like voluntary system where it's like, hey, at your local township, there's a series of projects and upstarts and research projects that we need funding for. Sign up here and you can donate a bit of your tax money to go to this thing.
Oh, that'd be
Maybe.
nice. Yeah, you could pick the things you're actually interested in. Anything that's nonsense won't receive any funding.
Exactly.
That's pretty smart. What do you think Brad the Bad would have to say about that?
Who knows what Brad the Bad has to say about any given thing?
Who
knows? But you can find out Thursdays at 7 p.m. on the Riley and Friends YouTube channel on the Death Stream.
I need to call him out, actually.
Uh-oh.
You should do it on the Death Stream. Thursday at 7.
Hold on. I'm doing it right now. Brad, if you're listening to this fucking episode,
he's not.
Don't bootlick the corporations, you asswipe. I don't care if you manage a store or if you're sent out to train people. The fucking fast food companies did not raise their prices to meet the bottom line. They raised prices to profit through a bad economy. And everybody pretty much agrees that that's bullshit. So, no, it's not because a couple people sent their food back because it wasn't done right. And they don't send it back. They keep it. They eat it anyway, usually. They're just like, yo, we'll give you a free burrito.
Was that an argument he made?
Yeah, that he somehow knew that that's why they were making everything more expensive was because people send things back. Not because fucking fast food companies were caught profiting far beyond the level of inflation that there was.
Yeah, because the more inflation, the worse inflation is, the fewer people go out to eat at like McDonald's and shit. But now, because we live in a fucking corporatist hellscape, every corporation is just hell bent on keeping their bottom line. So they're just like, well, the small amount of people who do still eat at McDonald's, we'll just charge them more.
Yeah, because that's how you keep a customer
base. It'll be like nothing
base.
changed.
It's because of that I just do not ever eat at Taco Bell anymore. Just never.
Oh yeah, I was done when I got one chalupa and like a fucking Mountain Dew, and it was like $12. I'm like, okay, so I'm just not shopping. I'm not going to this fucking restaurant anymore. No way.
Yep. No, if I'm going to spend $12 on a burrito, it's taco time or nothing. Because taco time's always been kind of expensive, so I expect that when going there.
And that's the thing. If the food is going to be expensive, at least be good. If the food's going to be expensive, be good. Like.
Yep. And you guys are fucking lame and gay because you don't have taco time down there.
Oh no. Well, I live in Missouri. I don't know if they have that out here.
No, it's a Pacific Northwest thing. They have them in California, I think, Oregon, and Washington.
I would like to try it though. I miss Portillo's. Have I been to Portillo's? The place with like the bratwurst and the hot dogs.
Oh, that sounds fucking great. What else do they serve? Where do you find them?
I know there's one in Indiana. I know they're mostly in Illinois though.
Oh,
it's like good times.
I wish I knew it like a couple of years ago. Last time I was there.
Yeah, it's worth it. Fortunately, there's not one in Missouri, which was tragic when we moved out here and we realized that like our number one like hot dog joint just was not there.
You got to travel all the way to fucking Chicago just to get to one, or what?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's lame.
Yeah, dude, it's super lame. We used to go every weekend.
Man, rivers in Illinois during the summer, are they all just super warm, or was it just the one I was in?
Oh, I wouldn't know. I didn't live in Illinois.
I think I was in like Fox River or some shit like that. I don't know.
Honestly, I don't think I've ever lived near a body of water in my life.
Man, you're missing out. Swimming's pretty
Actually, that's not
fucking
true. What
good.
the hell am I talking about? I'm from fucking Manhattan. That was a kid, but
Yeah, well, you can't really swim in.
oh no, your
fucking-
skin will melt off in the fucking Hudson. You'll contract like AIDS too if you try to swim in that shit.
AIDS
AIDS.
2, Electric Boogaloo.
Thank you.
I'm glad I'm not the only one who makes that joke.
Oh, dude, I fucking love making jokes like that.
And nobody gets unless people you can vibe with. It's like a vibe
just
check.
AIDS to
Right?
electric boogle AIDS.
Oh,
It just
God.
sounds funny. What say you, Riley?
I
Oh,
say
no.
that you've put me in a precarious position where I don't know what to say, and you've called to me.
Water.
And
What do you think about swimming?
Peace folding, dude.
What do you think about swimming in warm water? Pretty nice, right?
It can be.
Am I the only one who has an irrational phobia of like swimming in like bodies of water that aren't
Yes.
like completely bleached because I think like something's gonna slither into my pee hole.
Yeah, I mean that's always. I always am kind of not about slithering in pee holes, obviously, but like I always am kind of wary. Like I'm known for having a fear of any animal that's not a dog or a cat, and fish are included in that.
Bro, scared of fish?
Oh my
So
God.
I'm a little scared of fish because, like, what if they bite you though? So like,
That's
I-
crazy.
They don't
So,
usually
like,
do that.
I'd be swimming in the beach and I'm like, I don't want a fish to touch me or a crab. Crab would suck because they get you.
Mm-mm. Yeah,
Hey,
they
dude, if you
pinch.
get pinched by a crab, just rip that fucker out of the water, grab him by the ass, dinner.
Fucking eat them. Yeah, eat them, bro. Just
Yeah,
crunch
like
that shit.
he pinches you, he's
Yep.
fucking dead. Like fucking take
Yep.
him. He's done.
Yeah, dude, just fucking
Instant
grab him
snack.
by the fucking claw and just like fucking snap his ass.
Yeah, just be like eating a fingernail with like eating a fingernail with some chicken nuggets inside.
Interesting analogy.
Fingernail breaded chicken nugget.
Oh
You
god.
take toenail clippings. You take toenail clippings, some batter,
No.
and that's what
Hold
it's
on.
like to eat raw crab.
Wow.
I feel like I missed something. And are we talking about like you have to boil the crab, but it still has your finger in its claw or something?
No, we're talking about the texture of like chitinous shell, like raw, like shell. Kind of tastes like fingernails in some spaces, where it's like kind of soft and pliable.
Oh yeah, kinda. I never thought of it that way, but I'm kind of shivering thinking about it. That's fucked up that you said that.
Yeah.
All right, what's Kang's issue? Let's hear it. Kang, what do you got for us?
Did you beat the allegations? Did you win the trial, Kang? Did you beat
Honestly,
your
I
wife,
wasn't
Kang?
aware of any allegations or a trial,
Were you-
but
did you have the allegations? I'm trying to remember who. No, it was Crow. It was Crow who had the
No,
allegations.
I was making a Kang joke, like Kang the Conqueror, like.
No, I know, but there was.
Okay. So it just wasn't
there was
funny.
a-
Got it. Okay, cool.
I'm
But
sorry.
anyway.
There was a previous episode where our buddy Random Candor was referring to some nebulous allegations. I was trying to remember if that was about Kang. I think it was about Crow royalty.
Anyway, my issue is companies not listening to to their fans.
Oh yeah.
Not listening to the fans.
I feel like this
So-
has
I feel like
been
we've
done
done
in
this.
different words.
Yeah, I think we might have done this.
Okay, but my thing is, so companies would rather basically listen to the shareholders versus the people that are actually buying the product. Right?
I think the corporations would rather stick their balls in a crocodile's mouth while shoving their head up a unicorn's asshole.
Because it's like listening to the shareholders on like things like they have no idea what the fuck they're talking about shouldn't even be a problem, because it's like the one thing the shareholders should be worried about is if fans are liking the product and buying the product. if the fans are basically collectively hating the product and giving you ideas on how you can improve that product, you should be listening to the fans, dude.
Well, you know why they don't anymore, why they stopped doing that across like certain industries is because there was a huge like renaissance of nerd and geek culture, like movies and TV shows that made it where like normie like Walmart Americans were suddenly Marvel fans, and there were so many of them flooding the culture that like they will go to see anything with like a handsome celebrity in it. So like the fans became a minority in their own fandoms, and they're just like, "Oh no, we don't have to listen to these fucking people. They're still going to see the movie anyway. All we have to do is put like Chris Hemsworth or Ryan Gosling or fucking Ryan Reynolds or some other
We just gotta
marketable
throw
actor
Ryan in there.
Yeah, throw a Chris or a Ryan in the movie, and then people will go and get asses in theaters, and we'll make like infinite
Or maybe
money
a
glitch.
Carl even, like
Yeah,
Carl
maybe a
Urban.
Carl. Maybe a Carl or a Scarlet. Maybe a Scarlet.
Maybe even a Daniel even.
Yeah, make them say
Too
some
many.
witty one-liners, and then roll the credits. And that worked for a long time until COVID, and then COVID was like, do I really want to go to the movies? This is my last $20. And now suddenly, like, they're like, why don't they like it? We spent $250 million on this.
You just go on fucking screens just like fuck hoes with the bros. Cut to credits. That's it. Just like there's some things I feel
I
like
don't know
they
what
could
the
listen to
problem
the
is, I'm
fans on.
sorry.
It's like, for example, with Call of Duty lately, fans have been preaching about wanting a better anti-cheat system versus the Ricochet bullshit they have. Honestly, I feel like if they were to use something like Battle Eye or Easy Anti-Cheat, I feel like all their problems would go away.
Does Call of Duty have a account sharing policy?
As far as I'm aware, no.
That's probably why. Because every time, there are people who make money off of like boosting accounts using cheats. So like they'll be like, "Hey, I'll get you up to this rank or get you this item. If you give me your account login info," and then they go and they cheat and they get paid real money. And then when the the developer inevitably bans that person, they go and they buy another account because now it's kind of like their livelihood. And like the developer makes a ton of money because every time they ban a cheater, the cheater just buys another copy of the game. So it's like an infinite money glitch. So they'll never actually fix the damn cheats because like there's not a financial incentive to do so.
Yeah, I think that's like the shitty thing. Because I mean, like, so they're talking about bringing back Verdansk and Warzone coming up, but I feel like if they do that, the game's just gonna flop. I'm sorry, but
Yeah, man, I feel you. I'm a Destiny fan. I've been ramming my head against the wall for
Yeah.
over 10 years.
Oh, that fucking guy.
No, not not Destiny the person, Destiny the game.
Oh.
Bungie game. Yeah.
the looter shooter.
Yes. The game that deletes hundreds of dollars worth of content that you've already paid for and gives you nothing back.
Even when talking in the context of video games, somebody said Destiny fan, and me and Captain Blackbird are both like, "Oh, that guy."
I love how he's so hated. Yeah, no, he made a comment about the fucking kid with cancer at Trump's congressional address.
Oh, did he? I haven't heard his
he
take
said,
on
hold
that.
on,
Oh, shit.
hold on, I know, I have the tweet here. Hold on,
That little liberal amoeba needs to shut his fucking mouth.
Yeah, he's terrible. He said, difficult to know if the rabid Trump support comes from his parents' indoctrinating him, or the abscess that the brain cancer left behind.
Oh,
Basically, he's saying like his brain cancer must have made him a Trump supporter, because Destiny just cannot fathom anybody thinking differently than him. Even a small child with cancer must be fucking retarded.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
You fucking You fucked up little blue-haired amoeba.
Wow, great! It took an extra wind up on that one. Came out a little flaccid, but you tried. You tried.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, you don't really have to try with the blue-haired libtard like Destiny.
I don't know. He's still making money hand over fist. So who's the real winner?
Using the term libtard in the year of our Lord 2025 is absolutely diabolical. I want you to know
I mean,
that.
I say libtard, and I am a libtard. So
Goddamn liberal sissy snowflake.
Wow, how does it feel?
libtard.
How does it feel knowing someone went 2-0 on not getting fucking impeached as our president? How does that feel, Riley?
I mean, we'll see how the 4 years go. We'll see how long he makes it.
Oh yeah,
Definitely
wait,
a
wasn't
lot
Project
better versus
2025
the
supposed to
Biden
happen?
admin.
I mean, I never said it was supposed to happen. I think it's possible, and I
I'm
think
still
it's
waiting
still
for that.
on the table. But I think it's also possible that Trump was telling the truth, that he's not going to do that stuff. But I mean, he's already taken some steps I would disagree with. And Captain Blackbread's internet died, by the way. Oh, is he back? Did he fix it?
I'm just happy we're not funding the war with the Ukraine anymore.
I'm not happy about that. But let's not.
Hello.
Me and Brad argued about that already on our show.
Okay, what did I miss?
Do you want to have the conversation about it, or are you too exhausted with it?
I mean, I can. If you have things you really want to say about Ukraine, by all means, we'll talk about it.
Well, hold on. I want to know what the tweet was about the fucking kid with cancer. That's where everything just dropped out. And
Oh yeah, I
everything
got
was
you.
silent.
Here,
I
I'll
thought
pull
you
it
were
up real
looking up the
quick.
tweet, and then everybody was just really silent. I'm like, are we waiting for the tweet? And then nobody said anything. I'm like, fuck, not this again.
That's actually hilarious. There it is. He's talking about the kid, DJ. He says, difficult to know if the rabid Trump support comes from his parents indoctrinating him or the abscess that the brain cancer left behind. So basically saying that like his brain cancer made him a Trump supporter because it left him like mentally impaired or something.
That's kind of fucked. You really shouldn't say that about a kid with cancer. That's kind of a bad look.
Well, he also said that Corey Macaroni, or whatever the fuck his name was, who got shot at the Trump rally, deserved it because he was at a Trump rally. So,
well, I hope the next dick he sucks is a fucking gun.
Well, considering the dick he sucked was fucking Nick Fuentes, who's like a far right, like white nationalist, I really don't think. I think everything Destiny says is a grift.
Yeah.
He was funny on Biggest Problem in the Universe, and he was funny on PKA, and that's the only time I've ever cared about him. I can't bring myself to care about his political activism enough to watch his personal stuff. I just think he's funny on podcasts sometimes, and it seems like he's not a great guy.
Unfortunately not.
I think he is honestly very retarded.
That he is.
He shares about the same IQ as his fan base. 0.
Wow! Whoa! I can't believe it. But yeah, do you have anything else about not listening to the fans, Kang?
I'm pretty good here. Just listen to the fans, assholes.
All right, Arcane. Before we do your issue, which I've been told isn't political, you can say your piece on Ukraine.
Oh, okay. I think that if Ukraine wants to fight Russia indefinitely and push them out of their country, then they should be able to do like Israel and defend themselves, and we should help them. But at the same time, going around on basically like a publicity tour begging for other countries to put their soldiers on your land is beyond asinine. I think Trump was right to kind of say, like, look, like, we'll help you, but we want something out of it. Like, we're not just going to sugar daddy you indefinitely on the off chance that you maybe beat the Russians. And I think people are making it seem like Trump is sucking up to Putin because that's the narrative they want to paint without understanding that, like, almost every action Trump has taken so far in practice is with the goal of at least somewhat helping the Ukrainian people, not necessarily Ukraine as a country or an entity, but the people who are actually like getting shot.
You know, those people aren't like Vladimir Zelensky or Putin, and I think that I kind of wonder, why don't presidents fight the war, and why do we always send the poor?
Exactly. Honestly, I was kind of done.
Interesting
I was kind of done. I was kind of done with Ukraine when I saw that they were like scooping people up off the streets to like send them to fight and shit. Like, it's like, okay, dude.
Because the poor are basically the pawns of the war, you know?
Well, why do they always send the poor? They always send the poor.
Because
They
if you
always
have
send the
less
poor.
Poor
poor,
people are more expendable.
yeah, and if you send the poor, then there would be less poor, and then you can campaign on lowering poverty because you just sent them all to get killed.
Wow, what a great
Crazy
thing
how that
we've done.
works.
We got rid
Like,
of all the
it's-
poor people. Don't ask how
No
we did it.
You
way.
just sent them all into a war that they probably don't even want to be in, let alone the whole world wants to be in. So, two birds with one stone.
Yeah, easy.
But
A brand new
basically, yeah.
spanking deal.
Like, I don't know if anybody actually knows what the minerals deal Trump was trying to work out was, because I've heard different things about it, but like it seems like people just like look at the interview or the argument between him and Zelensky and are like, Trump wanted to have Zelensky sign a deal that would, you know, just run off of good faith with Russia, and Russia was just going to break it. But it's like that wasn't the point of him being there to begin with.
Well, Zelensky's feeding the Ukrainian people lies from the tablecloth.
Yep.
A la 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 la. Ooh.
An interesting argument that I've heard about
Everybody's going to the party. Have a real good time. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Are we getting it yet?
Yeah, I
No.
think we're getting it.
Okay, Kane
I'm
got
not.
it.
I'm not getting it.
I've been quoting System of a Down's BYOB this whole time.
Oh,
Wow, good job.
I'm upset that nobody fucking even understood it.
Well, maybe it's the viewers
look,
at home
Brian,
who
I am.
understand.
Yeah, they'll
You've
get
heard
it.
the song, you probably just don't know the lyrics.
Comment on this web zone if you get Captain Blackbeard's.
Yes, let us know on the Web
reference.
Zone forum if
I mean,
you
who
know.
is this Blackbeard you speak of?
Black bread. I keep calling you Blackbeard. Look, it's not my fault you do play on words. All right, I get confused easily. I'm dyslexic.
Oh yeah, but you could say
Actively
dyslexic,
trolling.
and that's totally fine. You didn't say like sexy doll or nothing.
Not that dyslexic.
Yeah, I don't
That's
know.
Bailey.
I just think that it sucks that Ukraine's getting fucked over, and like I don't necessarily agree with Zelensky or his methods, but I do agree that just in my heart, in what I feel is a moral obligation to a small nation that's getting fucked by a corrupt overlord to help in any way we can because we have the resources to do so. And maybe we were doing too much of it, like like Biden just like vomiting billions at him a second without any question. Maybe that was a bit too far. But if what I'm told is correct and the well has been like entirely shut, like not a dime has went to Ukraine since Trump was elected, that sucks. And I don't like that. And I don't like that Zelensky's being strong armed into making this deal when I think he makes a pretty good point that who's to say Russia's not going to break it. And the interesting argument that I've heard is that it's in Russia's best interest to have a ceasefire right now because they need to regroup. And if they're given the opportunity to regroup and then come back stronger, that makes Ukraine even more fucked.
Well, that's why Trump wanted to sign the minerals deal, because the minerals deal was going to be the precursor to bringing Putin to the table. Because the problem with the Ukraine-Russia conflict is that America has no direct vested interest in Ukraine's like continual existence. Like, we have a, kind of a philosophical moral obligation, maybe you could argue that, but in terms of like actual like geopolitical stakes. We really don't have them. What Trump wanted to do was sign this minerals deal with Zelensky, start getting American corporations and American citizens to operate in Ukraine, so that then that in itself will dissuade Putin from pushing any further, because basically he's putting America between Ukraine and Russia as like a buffer. And like from there, Trump can then argue a little bit better, because there's not much Putin can do at that point, because he would have to go through Americans in order to like push any further into the Ukraine territories. And he's not going to do that if there are like American industries actively working there.
Interesting prospect.
Well, that was the whole point of the minerals. That's why and Zelensky was talking about security guarantees, but Trump was trying to say like this isn't the time for that. That's not what you're here for. The security guarantees come when we're working out the peace agreement. Right now, there's not even a peace agreement on the table. Like, this is just to get us in bed together so that we have more negotiating power against Putin. But Zelensky just wanted Trump to just puff out his chest and call Putin a dictator for the publicity, like Biden and the previous administration did. And Trump just refused to play along. He doesn't play in the game. And Zelensky was just used to playing a game whenever he was on camera, and just hit a brick wall of like reality. It's like, no, we're gonna
let's
do
just
this first.
fund a war and put America in more debt, eh?
Well, yeah. Well, the goal was to extract minerals out of Ukraine to basically recoup our losses. Because if we have a financial interest in Ukraine, then there's way more of a reason for. There's more of a. It's like Israel. It's like we have a vested financial interest in Israel's survival, so that's why we send money to them, whether we agree with it or not. There is a reason for it, but there's no reason with Ukraine, because we're barely even allies with Ukraine. Trump was trying to change that, but Zelensky just refused to budge without hearing Trump say the magic words of Putin is killer, Putin is dictator.
Even though it's seeming more like Zelensky's more the dictator than Putin is.
That's debatable. I think definitely Putin's worse, but Zelensky definitely is not some patron state of democracy, without a doubt. If he was, he wouldn't have like basically shut down all independent media in Ukraine and have it filtered through the government first.
Yeah, no, Ukraine's government is far from perfect. Zelensky's far from perfect. It's just
It's also
a
arguably legitimate.
lot of innocent people are getting fucked over, and I would like it to stop. And it's
Yeah.
unfortunate that Putin does not seem to be budging.
Well, he has no incentive to right now. None. There's nothing that Ukraine can say, because, like, because Putin wants to be in good terms with the United States. Like, that's what he ultimately wants. But it's hard to do that when he has NATO kind of pointing a gun at him, and they have been for the longest time.
Plus, to be fair, weren't we allies with them at one point during World War II? Like, weren't we allies with the USSR?
Yeah, we were bumping butts with Joseph Stalin. Doesn't mean we liked him. It just meant that we had a war to fight.
Well, I mean, that's the thing, is like people refuse to admit that, like, sure, you could argue that like today's Russia is just kind of a lesser offshoot of the Soviet Union, therefore NATO's mission is still in effect. But like, I really don't buy into this weird idea that Putin is like this imperialist, like, madman who wants to reform the Soviet Union. It's just like I don't really buy that.
You don't buy that?
I don't.
That's too much of a stretch for you.
I don't. What seems more likely is that, because I'm kind of historically ignorant when it comes to the history of Ukraine, but I'm pretty sure Zelensky's government is very, very new. That the previous government before Zelensky was pro-Russian and then was basically couped out of existence, and Zelensky was put in his place, and Zelensky is very pro-NATO. And NATO was trying to work towards getting Ukraine bought into NATO, which would have been basically the equivalent of like Canada forming a military alliance with China. And, like, obviously, Russia was not going to stand for that. And when the previous administration, Biden and Kamala Harris, would, like, posture against Putin publicly in front of, like, the world stage and boast about Ukraine being a NATO country, Putin was like, okay, well, fuck you too. I'm just going to roll in with tanks like I've been threatening to do for the past, like, 15 years. And then he fucking did it. And then they were like, why would Putin do this? And then, like, there was a whole push by, I feel like, the same media apparatus that pushes a lot of other hoaxes and bullshit to basically say that Putin is the new Hitler. He's going to try to take over Europe. So we have no choice but to send all your taxpayer money to Ukraine to fight an indefinite conflict off the hopes that maybe they'll win. And everybody was just like, yeah, we trust you, institutions and military industrial complex. You've never lied to us before.
Right?
Hashtag I stand with
Right.
Ukraine. And just did not think about it any further than that. Because I support current thing culture is just so deeply ingrained in the West. It's maddening.
Hey, I have an announcement, guys. I support.
You're pregnant?
No. I support.
Fuck, we'll
the
try again
current
tomorrow.
thing.
I'm sorry, Arcane tried to do a bit, and Kang tried to do a bit.
Yeah. It canceled each other out.
A little bit of
I
an
support
Arcane moment.
the current thing.
Yeah.
You see, now Captain Blackbread tried to do a bit, and Kang tried to do a
Oh,
bit.
speaking of I support current thing backfiring spectacularly, did you hear there's a push to pardon Derek Chauvin?
Oh boy.
Oh
I
god.
heard about
yes.
Gee, that caught me off guard because apparently there's like a bunch of omitted evidence and he filed for a retrial and then like recently got stabbed like 22 times in federal custody or something like that.
Plus, didn't a certain man's autopsy also came back with
Oh
trace parts of
boy,
fentanyl?
here we go again with
No,
the
George-
Yeah, he
George
died of a
Floyd
fentanyl
First
overdose.
off, I am black, and I can tell you George Floyd was a piece of shit who made his own destiny at the end of the day.
Oh,
Nobody
that
disagrees
fucking
that
guy.
George Floyd was a piece of shit if they know what George Floyd is up to. But the point is, he was treated awfully and brutally in a way that was not okay.
It
And
was
you know
really
what?
bad when they shot him down in his enclosure. I don't know why he dragged that kid.
Oh my god, no way.
Can I just admit that it was in fact a canon event when Derek Chauvin decided to go, yeah, knees on necks, punk rock.
Yeah. People like a lot of people say that George Floyd was treated like harshly, but like I'm assuming that people who say that have never watched body cam footage before and have not watched the full unedited video in its entirety. Because like
there's no situation in which his neck had to be knelt on. There were better ways to deal with it.
That's standard police protocol when you can't get control of a suspect.
That's a bad.
The police department,
protocol.
the Minnesota Police Department lied and said that they weren't trained to do that, and it turns out that they definitely were trained to do that.
Yeah,
And
that's a
most police departments are.
bad protocol that you shouldn't have, because it can cause a lot of problems, as we've seen.
Well, I mean,
Derek
what
Chauvin was just
hold
the
on,
fucking fall guy, I think.
Riley. What
Yeah.
what problems were caused by Derek Chauvin in that situation specifically?
Oh, okay. Well, he died of a fentanyl overdose. Okay, I'm sure having his
Well, no, he died of a
esophagus cut off didn't
cardiopulmonary
help.
arrest. He died of cardiopulmonary arrest because he had a history of severe fatal heart diseases, like a long list, as well as methamphetamine. He actually didn't have that much fentanyl in his system. It was mostly meth. And if you watch the CCTV,
So I'm sure that happened due to the induction of stress, such as a man's leg on your throat.
Such as
Well,
a
he
kid
was
already
already-
in his
well,
enclosure.
Might cause some stress.
Derek
he
Chauvin
was-
took aim
if
and
you watch the
fired.
video, he was saying he couldn't breathe when he was in the police car, and then ran out of the police car and then fought the police when they tried to put him back in while shouting, "I can't breathe." And then when they got him back in the police car, he said, "I can't breathe," but then ran out the police car to fight the police again, got into a tussle, and then they eventually had no choice but to pin him on the ground because he kept jumping out of the police car, shouting, "I can't breathe." And then when Derek pinned him, he was shouting, "I can't breathe, I can't breathe," all the way until the point of his death, which I don't know if you know what breathing is and like how human speech works, but if you can't breathe, you can't talk, generally speaking. Like the way he died.
No. You know what he means though. You've definitely been in that situation where you're at it. You can still talk, but it's like you gotta hit a big breath in between every couple words. You know, when maybe you've run for a long time and you're like, I couldn't catch up, but you can still talk, but like not
Right, but if they
good,
let him
though.
up, and he tries to run away, like if he was having cardiopulmonary arrest at the time of his arrest, there was nothing any of those cops could have done. Now, do I think that they should have done more and actually taken him seriously and been like, okay, we're going to call you a paramedic, we're going to try to help you, instead of just saying like, shut up, reinforcements are on the way, get on the ground? Like, I agree. That's why I've always said that like Derek and the cops with him should lose their jobs 100%. But Derek was put away for 25 years for second-degree murder, which is that's
Entirely.
unjustifiable, especially when all of the judges, all the jurors were receiving death threats the whole time, and the judge knew it. Like, usually when there's a trial and the jurors are compromised, they usually postpone it, but they just didn't, because they realized that the country was on fire, and if they did anything besides what the mob demanded, they were going to basically collapse the fabric of society. There's a lot about that case that people who try to argue the George Floyd case only see it under the preconceived like oppressor oppressed black and white dynamic, and that's it. That's the farthest they talk about it.
Yeah, but can
And,
I
like-
mention that the last time I got pulled over, I just quickly polished my face. The cop showed up. I said,
Mhm.
I can't breathe. And he said, very well, be on your way. And I drove away.
That's that white privilege coming in clutch, dude. It's like that. It's like that South Park games where it's like the difficulty is based on your character's skin color.
No, God.
That was I remember that joke and how all the YouTubers did a big laugh about it. That's
He's
big when that
still
game
again,
came
and
out.
he's still again.
I gotta get back to that game. I started playing that recently because I finally beat Stick of Truth.
Yeah, civil rights are a myth. Punk rock.
Anyway, Arcane, I believe you have an issue for us.
Oh yeah, I do. My issue is that I am so sick and tired of being excited.
Being sick and tired.
Yeah, being
Somebody
sick-
turn the lights on.
I am tired of being excited for video games that showed awesome cinematic trailers at like Gamescom or like E3 or the Game Awards or some kind of live stream or showcase. And then like 4 years pass and like we hear nothing, and then like they quietly cancel it. There have been so many games that I was super hyped for that just went nowhere.
I'm gonna
And
help you out on this one. Empty video game promises, because
Oh,
the
my
three
God.
sentences you just said was not an issue name. So there
Yes,
you go.
yeah, sorry. Yeah, let me tone it down. Yeah. It is video games with cinematic trailers that get canceled. That's my issue.
Video games with does empty video game promises not work? Is my nice clever one not good enough for you?
I mean it's all right. Like, no, that works fine.
All right, EDP 445.
It's
Yeah,
all
maybe I should stop
right.
quoting
Overrated as fuck.
Overrated as fuck. But yeah, Silent Hills, Star Wars Eclipse, Duke Nukem Begins, Sly Cooper, Beyond Good and Evil 2, Prey 2, all had cinematic trailers and then like nothing in development hell for the longest time. It's like, oops, sorry. You know that
Wait, hold
thing
on.
that
You're
we
talking about
advertised.
the sequel to the Prey reboot?
Yeah. It's Prey 2.
Oh, I
Beyond
started. I started playing it a while ago. I fucking love it, dude.
Yeah, what the straw that broke the camel's back for me was Star Wars Eclipse. Because like I remember seeing that trailer and I was like, are we finally gonna get some good Star Wars video game content? And it was like all dark and mysterious, and there was like cool stuff going on in the background, and like the vibe was really nice. And it's like, oh nope, sorry, we canceled it. But meanwhile, absolute doo-doo water games like Star Wars Outlaws just like gets released and sent out the door. It's like, why are you showing me something I can't have?
Is there a Star Wars turn-based RPG?
Knights of the Old Republic.
Oh, is that what the Knights of the Old Republic is?
Yeah, I think it's just the Old Republic.
I don't think it's turn based.
Is it not?
No, I don't think so.
How does it work then? What's this? I knew it was some sort
Oh
of
no,
like...
yeah, it's more like it's from BioWare, so it's more like kind of like Mass Effect.
Say kind of like
okay.
maybe like also like a little bit of World of Warcraft, but set in the Star Wars universe, maybe. That's a good way of putting
they
it.
gotta make a nice turn-based RPG. They should take the kind of general idea of what they were doing with Visions, which was the Star Wars. I thought that was the name of the Star Wars anime, right? It was Star Wars Visions. Apply that sort of art style and philosophy and do like a Persona type turn-based RPG. Easy money. Come on.
Yeah.
Either that or give us Force Unleashed 3.
But no, what they'll do instead is they'll get Ubisoft or EA to make another over-the-shoulder third-person action adventure game with a androgynous androgynous brunette female protagonist with a cutesy companion. And
Yeah,
that'll
make her
that's
gay
all
and
you get.
lame.
Yeah, put a chick in it.
Listen,
make her
man,
gay and lame.
that game with the black chick with the bracelet who freaking moved things with her freaking mind, I think that game is good. Okay.
You're trolling.
Jedi Fallen Order?
No, he's talking about fucking Forspoken.
I've never played it, so I don't know if it like feels bad to actually play physically.
but
I
likes
like
it.
Right, is it
I
one
like
of the
the
Life is
writing.
Strange games?
I
No,
like the writing that people shit
that's
on.
what they're
I
gonna do
like the
next.
writing.
You like the Marvel guy? I just move shit with my mind. I just move shit
Yeah,
with the mind.
it's cute and call me old fashioned. I still find that charming in some places, and I think it's done well in that game. That's all.
I thought you were gonna say, call me old fashioned, but I like it better when they're white.
I think no, it's not.
Classic
Quite the
Riley
opposite is
take.
what I'm saying.
He's actually said that so many times before this.
Yeah, I say that all the time.
He's applying shoe polish right now.
But I actually thought that game was quite charming in its writing, but I'm obviously alone on that train.
I mean, look.
As you probably should.
Everybody likes their own thing. If you paid money for that game and you played it and you said, "Hey, I enjoyed that game," who am I to say you wasted your money? But you wasted your money and you're wrong. It's a terrible game.
Understandable. I have not yet wasted my money on it. I don't think I own a console that can play it. I don't think they backported it, but maybe I'm wrong.
Nothing can play it. That game's performance
You wasted your money.
awful.
Suck the PP.
Okay, but seriously, what game are you talking about? This is a new Star Wars game?
Forspoken.
Not a Star Wars.
And you play
thing.
as a black chick or what? Something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You play as attractive. You play as attractive 20-something-year-old mixed girl, like light-skinned mixed girl, living in Brooklyn, New York, who somehow can't afford groceries and is like poor, and then gets isekai'd into a magical universe.
Okay,
and, like,
yeah, the magical universe. She doesn't like for some reason, like even though they don't have smoke detectors in this magical universe, you can hear one chirping.
It is the call of our mightiest warrior.
Legetois la cricketus.
Man, I've become hypersensitive to to the fire alarm ding now. Like
Beep.
for we have to remind me next time Gingy's on the show. We have to drill him because that sound existed in Gingy's house for a long time, and I didn't know how to identify it back then. I didn't know what it was, but now I do. And now I realize that Gingy just was not changing the battery in his smoke detector for like a year. So I think if you
hasn't
go
worked
back,
on this
got
if you
used
go
to
back
it.
and listen to some of the old podcasts I did with Gingy, there's probably chirps. You'd probably get some chirps in there.
That's crazy.
That's fucking horrible. I don't know how anybody could stand that for
What,
like
the call
any
of the
more
ghetto
than a
cricket?
couple of days. Like, oh, I'm gonna hear it. It's gonna beep. I'm trying to sleep, but then it beeps every fucking 10 minutes. How would you? Whatever. You know what? I don't think
I
it needs to be
honestly
said
think,
anymore.
as somebody, actually, no, I can say this. I think it's really because black people are just generally so loud that the sound of a smoke detector beeping periodically is actually deeply, like, very quiet and almost unnoticeable
Folks,
compared
just
to all
remember
the
Arcane is
chaos.
black. Well, he's allowed to say this. He is black. That's allowed.
I
Kang
mean,
is playing with a rubber chicken into his mic. It seems.
No, it's more of a bip than a. Yeah, it's more of a bip than
Oh,
a.
it's a
than a beep.
kazoo. He's playing his
It's-
kazoo. He's playing his fuck ass kazoo.
Best dollar I've ever spent, bitch. Best fucking dollar I've ever spent.
But yes, anyway, that's my issue. I wish fucking E3's dead. I wish like the Game Awards and like the presentations that like Sony and like Microsoft and Nintendo does were actually about showing off products that they knew they were gonna make, as opposed to like trying to
Concept
in-
art.
yeah, and trying to attract investors and shareholders and shit, and like didn't promise us, like, make empty promises.
Can't wait for the next Space World.
Space World.
Can't wait for Star Citizen
Yeah,
to
that was
finally go into
Space World
beta.
was like Space
I know
World was
about
like
Space
proto
World.
E3, or maybe its own thing. I don't know.
I've watched enough gaming historian videos to know what Space World is.
And yeah, no, Star Citizen's never gonna happen. Okay, it's time to let go of that.
Oh no,
I've been-
I had a friend who religiously followed the Star Citizen shit, and I kept on fucking drilling him, basically telling him, dude, it's never gonna happen. You are
Yeah.
literally getting your fucking hopes set up on fucking Star Citizen.
Yeah, that game is going to be a perpetual beta for as long as they can milk it, until their fan base starts to like give up on the game. That game
And
is
end up
like
in nursing homes.
Star Citizen fans are like the Jehovah's Witnesses of gamers, where they just like are completely lost in the sauce, completely outside of reality. Can't be.
It's the eternal war of what will come out first: Star Citizen or Yandere Simulator.
Oh no.
I did a band on the Discord speed run a while back.
Oh yeah, the classic getting banned in Yandere Dev's Discord speedrun.
Yup.
Hey, bit of a lore dump on Space World. It's specifically for Nintendo, and it's been hosted since 1989 to 2001.
Interesting.
9/11
Yep, that
happened,
was
and
it.
they were like,
I'm
"We
guessing they don't-
can never have Space World again in a post 9/11 world."
No,
Yeah,
The
I-
reason
I-
9/11 happened was Space World ended.
Yeah. The guy who
Was the
ran
Space
Space
Twin
World was in the
Towers got
second
knocked
tower.
down. Yeah. Oh shit. Yeah, that would do it, huh?
He was in the tower. Oh God! Oh.
Listen, I'll never forget 9/11, the day that Boogie was supposed to record The Biggest Problem, but he didn't. That's what happened on
Hashtag
9/11.
never forget.
Never forget.
Man.
Remember, the 11th of September.
Remember.
Hey, pretty good.
All right, we're the turbo plugs. Here we go. It's one of those nights. We're doing turbo plugs. Arcane, go.
Wait, turbo plugs. I don't even know what that is.
Just plug your stuff fast. Come
I don't
on.
have any
You
plugs.
lost
Okay,
the point
follow
of
me on
turbo plug.
Instagram. Follow my Instagram, ESTL257. I post memes and vaguely racist jokes on my story for everybody to enjoy. Fun for all ages. Bring your
Awesome.
family, bring your kids.
Well, fuck your kids. Wait, what?
Wait.
Shit, I was thinking of that too. Bring your wife. We'll fuck her. That's right.
That's right.
At Big
We'll
Bill
fuck your
Hell's,
wife.
you're fucked 6 ways from Sunday.
All right.
Yeah.
Turbo plugs.
Yes, turbo plugs. Sorry, Cats of Blackbread, go.
Well, was Arcane done?
Are
Yeah,
you
I was
done?
done.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Okay,
done.
Cats of Blackbread, go.
Right. Catch me at my YouTube channel, Captain Black Bread. That's spaces between that. So you can find the bigger Black Breadier cast there. Episode 4, I need to get a hold of Worf. So if you guys want episode 4 of the bigger Black Breadier cast, bother Worf. Because I otherwise will have to catch him on a show when I know he's on. And you should follow my Twitter, X, whatever. C Black Bread. Capital C Black Bread. And that is where I am sometimes active. That was a turbo plug. Call us at
Great
the number
turbo
that
plug.
Riley will now insert right after I say
727-487-1137.
that was actually his personal phone number. You done fucked up now.
Yeah, that was my real phone number that I just gave you.
Also,
Yep.
remember, you gotta vote.
Yeah,
You
Yeah,
gotta get out there and vote.
Our democracy is at stake. You have to get out there and vote.
For me, Black Bread, whose issue was Rubberneckers.
Wait, I didn't plug. Why are you saying your issue? Also, Kang
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
plug, I don't think.
You can find me at linktr.ee/grimrealm. Yep,
Cool.
over there.
linktr.ee/Riley Cinematic Universe. I really want to say Mega Feed. That's not what it's been for a long time.
Mega Feet.
linktr.ee/Riley Cinematic Universe. So much Riley stuff. Shout out to the live stuff. Thursdays at 7 p.m. Eastern, you could find the Death Stream on the Riley and Friends YouTube channel, a politics and current events show with Brad the Bad 101. And then currently Saturdays at noon, soon switching to Thursdays at noon. The Trans Fat Experience with Demi Gloom, kind of just a free-form thing. We talk about whatever. We recently had our return episode after a long hiatus. You can check it out. We try to make it interesting enough that the VODs are also listenable. It's supposed to be like a podcast, but we just live stream the taping. I don't know how good we are at that, but you can see for yourself. All the VODs are up there. There's a playlist, and you can watch it live. Thursdays at noon, coming soon. Saturdays at noon, one more time. Next Saturday, and then Thursdays at noon. And that's it. My issue was stepping on things.
My issue was Rubberneckers.
My issue was not listening to the fans.
My issue was video game trailers for games that never come out.
All right. And we'll see you guys next week.
Bye bye.
Good night, everybody.
Yeah.